Biafra land. If they go now, we won't have access to oil and gas. In the process of having your eyes fixated on oil and gas, your forest is gone. Do you understand it? Every Yoruba person supporting Fulani, you are setting up yourself to become like the Hausa people. Remember when Hausa was supporting Fulani? We are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Where are the Hausa people today? I ask you. Where are those Hausa people today? Do you see them anymore? They're saying we are Hausa Fulani, we are Hausa Fulani. Do you see them again today? Do you see them? I'm asking you. No, because Fulani have completely overwhelmed them. It's called emasculation. Completely emasculated them. Look at what they're doing in the East. In the East, they come to the East, I will tell you, oh, you want to be the president or vice? Yeah. They say, give us land for Ruga. They give them land. I saw Joseph Okado did that Lord Banta. They have taken it over in forever and ever. Give us land in your state. Hope most of them are proof to us that you are stood. Give us land in Olo. Hope most of them will give them land in Olo. We can go and kill people in Obibo. We can kill for them. How many Fulani governors are prepared to kill bandits? I didn't say normal people. I'm talking about armed, dangerous bandits. How many Fulani governors? Go and read your newspapers, you will see it there. Fulani governors are negotiating with them, giving them arms, giving them vehicles, making sure that their life is no longer in misery. But see, they come down to the south. They tell you, give us land for Ruga. Go and kill your people to prove to us that you're one Nigerian. That was why Obioso was talking rubbish. Was talking, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Supported by the BBC. The problem you people have in Nigeria is this. Your journalists, you see people, Punch newspaper, Tribune, Vanguard, and Nation, they are your second worst enemies. I'm telling you the truth. They can never, ever be objective in their reportage. Never, ever, ever. That's why all of you are suffering. But you don't know it. They were the same people used to scuttle the NSAS protest. Of course, some of you went about looking for Indomie in warehouses. Typical black people. Any revolution that is coming now, you must stand very firm. They'll say, oh, you're Igbo. Oh, you're Yoruba. Oh, you are from Europe. Don't join them. It's our turn in 2023. If you do this, you will scuttle our chances of becoming the president in 2023. Ask yourself, all of them that have been president from time immemorial, what benefit has it brought to you as a human being? Absolutely nothing. So you have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. You look at them now, how they have now descended on Yoruba people, asking them to concede, give us your forest, we must graze, we must do this, we must do that. And slowly before your eyes, they are giving in, they are capitulating, they are allowing them to go, if you don't give it to us, so Tinubu will not be president in 2023. The life that you are about to bequeath to your children and grandchildren, look at Hausa people. Is there any Hausa governor today? Is there any Hausa emir? Is there land though? Katsina is Hausa land. Kanu is Hausa land. Sokoto is Hausa land. The Hausa people own it, indigenous to those areas. I'm asking you this question. Is there any Hausa man who is an emir in the north? The answer is no. Something is going to happen to you. If you don't rise up now to break, I'm not even asking people to break this, you demand for what rightfully belongs to you, your freedom. The freedom to decide. The freedom to write a constitution if you prefer. The freedom to live with whoever you want to live with. That is what we're asking for. But most people misunderstood what we are saying. And today, almost everything we have said about the zoo has come to pass. Everything we have told you, everything I told you has come to pass, hasn't it? Everything. And some people are still questioning and arguing. They said, Fulani will resist by all means necessary, including armed resistance, any attempt to forcefully eject them from the forest. Yoruba, you must ask yourself this question. When we were pursuing them from Ebonyi, why didn't they say something about ESN or Nnamdi Kanu? Why? Have you asked yourself that question? Because they know we are prepared to die to defend our land. They understand that very well. That is the only language the Fulani understand. You cannot say to Fulani, oh, let us have a Fulani president. And after that, all will be well. Never, ever, ever. They will continue to expand. They will continue to identify idiots in your midst, traitors, saboteurs in your midst. They will promise them heaven and earth. They will give them anything they ask for in order to ensure that they get into you, they subjugate you. Look at Yoruba land, Lauren. Yoruba, how did you lose a Lorin? You lost a Lorin because somebody thought or felt that by aligning himself with what he felt was a superior Fulani force, he can defeat his own people. Afonja, what happened? As a result of that miscalculation, the great Yoruba race lost a Lorin to Fulani Caliphate. That is why in a Lorin, you have an emir of a Lorin, not an Oba of a Lorin, answerable to Sokoto. That is where Lai Muhammad comes from. You can see them. Sokoto slaves in Yoruba land. When I say that it's not religion, it has nothing to do with religion. It has everything to do with the mentality of a conquered people. Now they have left the Loren, having taken a Loren and taken it to Sokoto. They now want to come into Oyo. They want to come into Ondo. Once they take over all those places, it's over for the Yoruba race. Over for you. No, never again will anybody rise a man of honor or integrity in Yoruba land. Never ever. It will only be their stooge. Look at what's happening in the East. Only Fulani stooges can now emerge in the East. It took them very many years, nearly 50 years, to accomplish this very simple task of making sure that everybody, be it Ohanese, be it Pandef, be it governor, anybody you're bringing out must come to the north to swear allegiance to the caliphate. All of them, bar none. Is there any political godfather in the East? There is none. They all go to the north to go and swear allegiance to the Janjaweed. That is why our life is in a mess. That is why they can put somebody like Obiozo and make him the Ohanese President General. In front of our eyes, in front of Korokoro. And what did they bribe? They gave money to BBC. They gave money to all Zoo newspapers. They started to trumpet. Obiozo, Apex Group, Apex. You saw them holding their meeting under a canopy. A ton without shame. A whole Ohanese. Under sand, ton canopy. Maybe you saw it disgraceful and shameful. Talking rubbish. The man looks like a Janjaweed anyway. Talking nonsense. These are people they have prepared for you to sell you down the drain. By the time the Fulanis are done with you, believe you me, if you don't rise up now to fight for your freedom, by the time Fulanis are done with you, you'll be more useless than a Hausa peasant doing Babiala somewhere in Zaria. That is the future that awaits you. Now, our people must understand this very clearly, especially my Yoruba brothers and sisters. It is about time you stop supporting evil. That evil is in Asorok. That evil is a gang of reprobates calling themselves presidency. The more you keep on supporting evil in the zoo, the more your land will be taken from you. The more your daughters will be raped and abducted, the more your sons will be slaughtered in cold blood. And under one Nigeria, there is nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing.
There is nothing you can do about it, of course. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone and I welcome you to this program. While you are joining us, share this video, invite others to join wherever you are watching from. Are you watching from YouTube, Facebook? Share the video, click the like button if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube for the algorithm to do the sharing as well. Those watching on YouTube, click the like button, share the video. If you're watching on Facebook, click the like button, share the video. So, you are welcome to this program. We are back again. So, we are here again to continue where we stopped. We see some things that transpired, few days ago. Before we proceed with this, the real broadcast that we have for the day, there is something I want to address because there is something that says, an adage that says charity begins from home. That is the reason why we are going to touch base with the things that is happening back in Biafra land, and that thing that is happening in Biafra land it is something that I want to address, which is the activities of those traditional rulers in Imo State. Those traditional rulers in Imo State, which, of course, those traditional rulers will understand that Hope Uzodimma bribed them and gave them money, because the reason why Britain decided to make sure that they bastardize the process in which our people select their traditional ruler, it is as a result of what you are seeing today. And that is the reason why we are starting with that. Because when I saw such, this type of traditional rulers, you will find out that they will never do anything in the benefit of those who are called will I call them their constituencies or their communities, where they are custodian of. So it is very, very important that you understand this is part of the reason why our heritage, we discontinued from it, because had it been we studied, we continued with our heritage, you will not find somebody call himself a traditional ruler coming to support abomination. The land where he is stepping upon will destroy him. That is the tradition of our land. That is how it used to be. But today, all these things are bastardized. All these things are destroyed. That it is now the job of a governor to decide who is going to be the traditional ruler and who is going to, what they are going to be like. So it is now destruction of it is actually destruction of our tradition and heritage. If you go to Fulani land, you will never have any politician interfering with who is going to be the emir. Rather, the emir determines who is going to be the president. But if you go to Yoruba land, you will never find anybody interfering with who is going to be the traditional ruler or Oni of Ife. It is Oni of Ife who has upper hand, because they will actually determine who they will endorse in the political space. And you will never find Oni of Ife actually coming publicly to tell you this person is going to be your governor. Or you will never see Fulani, whoever, what do you call them? Emir, coming out to tell you we are endorsing, El-Rufai to be the governor of the state. You will never find them. But because what they did to us was specially done, they concentrated on our people, because they know that our people are actually capable of transforming the faith of the country. That is the reason why, because it all started when Queen Elizabeth arrived in Nigeria. When Queen Elizabeth arrived in Nigeria, every other race and their traditional rulers greeted her with double hands, with, 2 hands, and the other one fall down for her. Only traditional ruler from Igbo land greeted her with 1 hand, because she's a woman, and they understood that we have a patriarchal society. So from there, they saw that they have a lot of work to do on these people. That is exactly the reason why they decided to colonize us more than the way they colonized every other person in Nigeria. That is the reason why they decided to work on our mind more than they worked on the mind of any other person in Nigeria. How were they able to achieve it? By taking the power and giving to the Fulani. Taking the power and rotating it from Fulani to Yoruba sometimes. Making sure there is a deprivation of economic opportunities from our people. Making sure that they deprive our people of any opportunity that will enable them to thrive. in the setup called Nigeria, knowing that if our people were given opportunity prior to the time of independence, that we will transform Nigeria to become better than, the present Japan. They saw that coming, because your enemy will always see what you will become. Even before you will be able to perceive it. They saw the quality of our people. They saw what we are capable of doing. They decided that they will concentrate on our people. How did they work on our mind? It is not like as if they put us in a place and start drilling our minds. They work on our mind through poverty. They work on our mind through exclusion. They work on our mind through marginalization. They work on our mind through institutionalizing poverty in our land. That was how they worked on our mind. And because of that, you find our traditional rulers, who are supposed to be, will I call them the custodians of the land, who are supposed to be the most respected people. These people, they do not possess any atom of respect for themselves. Talk more of people respecting them, because they have sold their dignity. They have washed their filth in public. That is what these people were able to do on our people. And it is all about institution called poverty. Poverty institution that they have actually established in our land, exclusion institution that they have established against our people, and you call marginalization institution that they have established against our people. All these things are the things that they have done, and those work on our minds. Frustration destroyed us from inside. Frustration, it boils down to what you call, people be, frustration, stress of poverty. What is my children going to eat? If I don't even, people who cannot actually, be sure of where their next meal is coming from. So it boils down to frustration. From frustration, they become depressed. From depressed, they have a psychological problem. From there, no one is there to help. You will not know that so many people are crazy in our land. You will not know that so many people are actually psychologically oppressed. You will not know that people are sick. When you see them dressed like with red. You see them dressed with a traditional ruler cap. You will think that these people are okay. You will not know that some of them are sick, mentally sick. That's what Britain were able to do against these people. They were the most targeted. How can Britain, how were they able to work on the minds of our people to the extent that traditional rulers becomes puppets to state governor? When traditional rulers were used to see as president in our land, when traditional rulers are custodians of the land, when traditional rulers are actually, when they were the people that are most respected because they know the nooks and cranny of the land. They know the traditions of the land. So everybody, wherever you come from, wherever you hail from, you will look for traditional rulers for blessings and guidelines. But today, the traditional rulers are actually object of caricature. Object of caricature. That's what our traditional rulers has become. That is the reason why you will find our traditional rulers knowing and having seen the activities of Hope Uzodimma in the last 4 years, that our people have died in thousands under the leadership of this guy called Hope Uzodimma. Yet, these traditional rulers decided that they will come out in their numbers to disgrace themselves in Imo State in order to tell you, in order to tell you that anybody who cannot vote for Hope Uzodinma, they were actually praying against such person. For you to understand that, when if you read the Bible, you will understand where it says that it says that the elder people, the people we look up to, will begin to act like children. And that is exactly what we are seeing in these traditional rulers. They are beginning to act like children. Then children that when children now come up to actually correct them, they will tell you you do not have respect. But we don't have respect for failure. We don't have respect for evil people. We don't have respect for people who worship money. We don't have respect for people who prefer money to one's life. We do not have respect, and we will never have respect for such people, because such people are, they are gangs of reprobates. They are evil. That is the reason why you see such people and you see them, whatever they are doing, they will never do anything to represent anybody. They do something they do to represent their own people, their own family. Let me play it. Let me borrow this video from this from my comrade. Let me borrow this video from my comrade Wachineke, because I think I was not able to extract such video, but let me borrow it from one of our comrades where I will be able to listen to it, so that you will hear and understand what we are talking about. Our culture being bastardized. Listen attentively. Pay attention to this. Before we proceed.
Distinguished Hope Uzodinma, Ọnwa anyị na-aga ọzọ ala ọzọ ga-achịpụ ya. Chineke nna eze ka eze otu onye na-asụ na-abịala ọ dị obie Chineke nna m ọpụta obie aha m ebili dịka ihe mkpere na ekpere aha ga-ebuka ntụrụ ga-etu ugbu a nwata echi aka m na-etu gị. How you can question of this? Yes. How you can Rock of Ages? How you can Lion of Judah? How you can El Shaddai? How you can Nurihe? Oh yeah. Nambia Karije. Onye si nwa Olowola. Aske na boot ya. Eme kata tegro onye ọzọ na APC. Na ụdị na Uzodinma. Ebe Uzodinma nọ. Asụbọ fọlụ ga-ejide.
Did you hear that? Did you hear your traditional ruler? What the traditional ruler is saying? They are actually promoting a particular party that has killed more than this man that the traditional rulers are promoting. We know that everybody has the right to promote anybody. But in a situation whereby you are a traditional ruler, you are giving maybe 100,000. How much is 100,000 in the US dollars in this currency? How much is 100,000 naira to US dollar? If you know it, please comment there. I don't know. 100,000 to US dollar. Is it up to 200? Is it up to $100? Is 100,000 naira up to $100? Is it up to $150 or $120? It is within this range. it is within this range that you took this money and gave to traditional rulers. The traditional rulers began to speak like children who were given a sweet. That's why they started praying. If you actually listen to the way they are praying, you will understand that these are traditional rulers that are, new millennial traditional rulers. That's what they are. Because we know the real traditional rulers that we have and we knew in our land how they used to pray. Now, secondly, they will never rise up to pray against their land because of what, they are believing in somebody that gave them maybe 100,000. Now, these people are praying to say that anybody who will not vote for this particular party, that person will never, it will never go well with them. And in the past, before our heritage was destroyed and bastardized, we used any prayer done by traditional rulers. Those prayers are very effective. Any prayer that is done by a traditional ruler, it is very, very effective. We call it Igofo because traditional rulers are the only people who handles Ofo. Ofo is actually seen as a piece of wood that people hold in their hands. Ofo, it is like, when you are taking an oath of office, that Ofo is our, is what we hold in order to take an oath of office. Ofo is a truth. It is called the truth. Ofo is something you can actually have. It is something like this. Something you will hold like this. You will use it to swear an oath of office. And this, when you see a piece of wood in this regard, in our land, and it is called Ofo, it is the truth. Whoever you curse with this Ofo, as long as you stand in the truth, those things will come to manifestation. Now, in a situation whereby you have a traditional rulers whom their own prayer is very, very effective according to the traditionals and the law of the land, coming out to actually make it mandatory that anybody who is going to vote must vote for a particular person who gave them 100,000, less than $150. Who dashed them less than $150. That if you do not vote for them, it means that the God of the land will not do, will punish you or will curse you. This is this is degradation. This is degradation of our mighty people. This is mighty men have fallen to the Western hegemony. Mighty men have fallen that the children will see them as nobody. That is exactly what we have seen in the likes of these traditional rulers. They came to pray against anybody who will vote against the criminal called Hope Uzodinma, who has killed more than thousands of our people, a criminal that has a place, a person that has a prison called a mortuary. A prison called a mortuary. It is the same criminal that this traditional ruler, remember there is a release, there is something that is released by the US on how the previous administration in Nigeria executive, which was known as imposter in Aso Rock, the man who impersonated Buhari after Buhari died in 2017. They created a man that impersonated him for 5 years. That man, through him and under his watch, they implemented some non-state actors, give them gun, give them ammunitions, and they deploy them into the land, especially into this land of Imo State, where they are killing people like flies. People were dying like flies in this Imo state that we are talking about. Then the traditional rulers, they have the audacity. They saw that publication. It is still, the publication is still in this, where is it? It is, what is the name of this Showeres newspaper or news channel? The news is still making round on social media how they released that information that Buhari used this Ebubago militia to go out there to kill our people. Remember, Buhari said that Biafrans, that we are dot in a circle. After making such statements, Sahara Reporter, if you go to Sahara Reporter, you will find what I am actually looking for right now. If you go to Sahara Reporter, let me actually try to find it. You will find exactly what I am talking about. Ebubago militia was actually created. Thank you very much, Adan Neka, Adline, and Vitalis for that update. If you actually understand the activities of Ebubago militia, Ebubago militia, it is not long ago that Ebubago militia went to where people were having traditional marriage or people were having wedding. I don't want to classify it. People were having wedding in Imo State. Ebubago militia stormed the wedding venue. Ebubago militia killed more than 13 able-bodied men, father, uncle, husband, and brother. Ebubago militia killed 14 of them. Under the watch of Hope Uzodinma, the man that this guy or these guys out, they are not even fathers. They don't, these guys wearing traditional wear, of course it has been bastardized. You see people are wearing traditional Igwe clothes everywhere because it doesn't have, unless a value, it does not have value anymore. Anyone can afford it. So you find these people that I don't know where they gathered them from, wearing traditional rulers, kingship, regalia, coming to actually video themselves, video their ignorance, and bring it out in the public domain, where they are actually calling on everybody that is not going to be voting this person. They are cursing those people in advance that you should vote for this killer machine. You should vote for the killer machine. What make you think that if there are criminal organizations who maybe saw that tomorrow that what they are doing, they don't like maybe their criminality, or they have, they have detested the criminality they saw, it is as a result of people whom you have actually given the authority to govern, whom you have given the, whom they have imposed on you maybe, or you, because they will use you to rally about them. At the end of the day, they impose on you whoever they want to impose on you, or people you have given the authority to rule over you, to represent you in the upper echelon. These are the same people who are actually impoverishing you, killing you, destroying your future, destroying the future of your children. They decided to have, if they had access to the gun and bullet, and they decided to see this type of people, and they go after them. Do you know what they will say? They will say that bandit, criminality, IPOB, this and that. Do you know, maybe I am so facetious the way I am saying it, but I am very serious. I am very, very serious. One thing you should understand is that this type of people, they will attract evil against themselves, because these people that their youth, their family members were killed by Hope Uzodimma, especially those boys, those were the ones that actually trended. Those people that their family members were murdered in a cold blood by Hope Uzodimma when they were doing their wedding ceremony. If 14 or 13 of them rise up today and say that no matter what it is going to take, we are going to get justice for our own brothers, and anybody who will come up to say they are in support of Hope Uzodimma, who is Fulani imposed governor, a man that did not actually take second in political election, not third in political election, which is democratic election as they call it. The man emerged victorious. The man people knows that they did not vote for. Third in the position of leadership, was selected by the Supreme Court. Now, the same man is using 100,000 to buy red cap chiefs and traditional rulers in order to bring himself back. Under the regime of this criminal, many people died. Why is it that a black man is power intoxicated? Why is it that a black man does not know when to resign from power? If it is in the US, if it is in Europe, if it is in a developed country that you sit in a position of power, crime of killing, brutal murder or gruesome murder of citizens where you represent become prevalent. If you cannot handle it, you give up the position of power, so that maybe somebody who has the competency to handle such may take over. But in Africa, in Nigeria, you will not ever find them doing it. The only thing they will start doing, it is all about them trying to make sure they come into the position of power again. It does not matter how many is going to die, because they don't care about you. They don't care about you and I. The only thing they care about is themselves and their immediate family. That's what they care about. And tomorrow, you will go to, when you see military coup happening, people makes it, call it, we are restoring democracy. United Nations will come in, and the AU will come in. Just like we are going to now, you will find the plans of United Nations. And you will find the plans of AU. When they go to dinner party in Addis Ababa, all they think about is how to, promote evil against ordinary people in Africa. That's what they do. Now, when you go to, you find out the EU, their plan whenever they sit, where they plan their conspiracy, where they plan their evil, all against the black people, all against Africa. They plan it very well, they execute it very well. But it is a pity today they have opposition. We are going there. But let us finish these pressing things. Charity begins from home. The most important thing I am going to tell these traditional rulers, one thing I am going to tell you people are calling for the trouble of your people. We are the ones who have that, we have that, desire to speak and actually caution people, call them in order if they don't listen. There are evil people like them who might take them head on. And we will come out to say, we told you. Because everything that any of these people does, it has consequences. Because it is now time that people have woken up from their slumber. It is no longer the time you will be actually collecting money to sabotage the life of the youth. eventually, if this youth turn against you, don't blame anything. Blame yourselves. Because the youth are now fighting to take over their future that has been, that has been taken away for a very long time. The youth who are actually disenfranchised, the youth who are actually disgruntled, are fighting to take over what belongs to them. And making such type of statement in the public domain, it is actually, you are endangering yourself. You are endangering yourself. And you made it and you brought it into the public domain. We know that many people might handle the situation, many people will come out to handle this type of situation to actually be, because of how angry they are. They might not control their emotion. At the end of the day, you might think, if anything happened to these slaves called the traditional rulers, you might think, no, it is those people who are talking. It is not them. It is not them. They are going to talk as they feel. This freedom of speech. The same way these traditional rulers said the way they felt. Pray against anybody who is going to vote Hope Uzodimma, against Hope Uzodimma. When those people he is praying against turn against him, because it is actually traditional rulers. Their speech has a lot of effect. If people does not know, if the people of Imo State and people of Biafra land does not understand what these traditional rulers did, that is called manipulation. They have manipulated people in advance, using their position of office, using the offer that they have been issued to use to curse and to use to bless. They have used it to manipulate you. They have used it to actually